Hello and welcome to the Harmony German Club once again for the final of the 2017 ACT Blackball Open. It's the second Blackball Open that we've run. Last year was won by Sithu Luan, who defeated Mongrel 9-7 in the final. So he's done well. He's gotten back into the final through probably one of the hardest brackets I've seen. He had to beat Jason Tanaskovic in the quarterfinals, which he did 7-5. Jason's a very handy and upcoming player in the ACT. Took out the ACT 8-ball state championships actually, so he's our ACT state champion. In the semi-finals, Sithu came up against Mongrel again and was able to get that match 8-5, and so he gets into the final against Mick Norton, who actually plays in the same 8-ball team as him on the Wednesday weekly comp, which is the Harmony German Club Hurricanes. Both players have just gone out for a short smoke break, so we'll be back with the audience here when they return. I'll probably have a few words with them actually before play commences. Well, on the end tables we've got the ladies. I call it the final as well, between triple header between Vanessa, Cindy and Ashley Smith. Vanessa got up in the first match 5-4 against Cindy. Cindy's now playing Ashley on, and I think she's on the hill at 4-1 at the moment, so if results hold, and then there'll be a final match between Vanessa and Cindy to be played. So exciting times ahead. Probably going to explain the two logos we got near the scoreboard down there. Firstly, the AC 8-ball live logo. Obviously it's this broadcaster here. Pretty much the equipment here is the setup is George Nitzes, who has made live streaming of ACT 8-ball possible in Canberra. So thanks to him again coming down to stream the event. George also went to Malta actually and played for the Australian B team, so he's like quite chuffed with the whole Blackball setup. We're also coming down to Chalkers, I think it is, in March next year to stream the first Blackball Nationals. So here in the ACT we're very excited about that. I'm not going to give away too much detail on this particular broadcast, but the ACT Blackball Pool Association, I guess you can say, which is in the process of being formed up to pretty much run and organise Blackball in the ACT, has selected its team to go, or I should say teams, because we are sending 4 opens teams actually, and 1 ladies team down to Adelaide to compete in that particular event. So very excited about that. That's indeed very exciting times for Blackball as well. You hear the background noise on the live stream. That's just the jazz that's going on. Basically Sunday at the Harmony German Club we got a bit of a jazz festival. I'm just going to stop for a moment and make sure we've shared the link to all the people that we need to share to. Hopefully try and get a bit of a viewership up for all these streams and have people join us live, which would be good. I mean, part of doing streams like this is to get an audience participation and people involved. You're probably going to hear me double play because I've actually got it open on the it's a race tonight. That's okay. So before we start, just gonna go up to the table. Just have a few words. I think we stand here, they can pretty much see us. So before we start, Mick, your first Blackball Pool final, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good after that match. Yeah, first 2 matches, yeah, feeling quite good.
Now Mick, you usually an adamant player of Blackball, actually 8-ball. This is probably your first venture onto the Blackball scene, although you did play in the tournament last year. So what are your first impressions about Blackball?
I'm starting to enjoy it now. I'm starting to get used to it. So I'm feeling quite comfortable. So
So how do you think you're going to in the final against C2 today?
it's going to be a tough match. C2 is a good player, but the best player is going to win. So it's going to be two teammates. So
Any final words?
good luck, C2.
C2. C2. Alright, so before the players get going, we're also going to have a bit of a chat with C2. C2, congratulations and welcome. This is your second final back-to-back. You won it last year and now you're here to defend your title against your good friend and captain of your 8-ball team, Mick Norton. Firstly, you had the toughest semi-final and quarter-final bracket draw. How does it feel to actually make it through that group?
Very relieved actually. Quarterfinals, especially with Jason Tanaskovic, I played pretty horrible. And then he started to play well, and then he started to play really horrible with a few bad rolls as well. I got lucky. So yeah, that got me through to the semis, and I managed to win Mongrel. So happy.
How do you think you'll go in the final?
I think it'll be a good match, good close match. I think Mick is more or less the favorite, or he is, the Australian country player, national player. But I'm willing to fight. That's what I do. It's a bonus to be here again, back-to-back finals. But if I win, it's another bonus.
Okay, so finally, what are your impressions of Blackball? Given most of us in the ACT actually play 8-ball, so a few opportunity we actually get to play Blackball. So today's one of them. So how do you like the rules and what do you think of it?
Yeah, I just had this conversation just a while ago actually. I mentioned that not because I made it to the finals, but we already liked the rules, and I spoke to a few of the top players in ACT and they all agree as well, because it removes certain aspects of two-shot games that most of the players and viewers don't like too much, which is a little bit dragging and wears you out, but it's a more aggressive and attacking game, and that's where the beauty lies, I think. I like it a lot.
All right, good luck, gentlemen. We'll let it go. So, George, will time. It's 30 seconds, 60 seconds per shot. And then we just play the normal standard rules. So good luck, guys. Race to 9. Joining me on commentary shortly is also Kenny Hune, I think it is. Normally a very handy 3-cushion billiards player from the ACT. Well, he will be joining us shortly. Just trying to figure out how to share the link on my ACQ Sports page now that I've got this app going. I just need to... So George, in the process, so Kenny joining us, or switch it on? We'll welcome Kenny while I figure out the technicalities of this particular stream. So it's really interesting. Okay, so basically while I was looking down, the brackets actually commenced. I didn't see what happened particularly. So the difference between 8-ball and Blackball, for those not familiar, is nothing's decided on the break. So now Mick's on reds. On a fairly easy, I wouldn't say easy, but the pot out's definitely there if he makes this plant to the middle pocket, which is done nicely. The way the black's blocking that red to the middle is made it a little bit tougher, but he'll go long pockets. I'll get a position on the right hand top pocket. So okay, so it looks like So Kenny's just checking if he's on. Speaking to that mic. Okay, just turn the microphone on. Welcome, Kenny.
Hello, hello. Okay.
You're not on? That's just a bit. It's just a bit delayed, Kenny. So you have to like listen to it on delay. So it's about 5-second delay, but yeah.
Grand finals would be a top match between Big Rotten and C2.
Okay. You know how to share it onto my AC keyboard sports page? Because he didn't put it on. So I just got to get Kenny to share it on the the link onto the ACQ Sports page, and hopefully get a few more viewers on just watching. Sithu's just I don't know what Sithu was doing, but I thought he would have tried to snooker there to get himself a free hint. So from here, Mick should just be able to pot the one over the pocket, and no, it's just jaw that. This is good snooker there by Sithu. So the great thing about Blackball is you actually have to try and get it out of the snooker by playing your own ball. So it's not like 8-ball where you can just, if you don't like the situation, you can just tap behind an opponent's ball or just play the black. In Blackball, you actually have to legitimately try and play your own ball. So I like that part of the rule because it basically make sure that you get full value from your snookers. Alright, so thanks for that, Kenny. It's Kenny Hune, by the way, not Kenny Nickel, who usually sits in commentary for ACT8 Ball Live. It's a nice shot.
This is a nice shot.
What will you do here next, Kenny? What will you do here next?
Okay. So I'm going to try to put the yellow balls on the right side to the right pocket.
Okay.
And sit the white, yep, sit the whites behind the yellows if you can. Block the black.
I think it's just tried to pot that to the corner, or not sure what it was doing there. I think Mick now can use that yellow ball that's over the bottom left rail to cut the to double the black, so that he's got a bit of safety if he misses the original double. He can play it onto the yellow. Yeah, he's definitely going that way. Oh,
So lucky.
caught it too fat. So from here, if Sithu just plays it right, I'd probably take the top ball to the top, what do we call that, the right rail first, and then you get the one that's on the rail to go for the middle and back. That way, probably be the easier out. For me anyway, but someone like elite as Sithu should be able to find his way around a different path. So it looks like he'll go for the ball on the rail now. Excellent. See, the reason why I didn't like that is because now he's put all the pressure on himself to pot this one to the top right hand corner, and then screw it back for the one on the left.
Have a go. Mick hits it.
Yeah. Left it relatively safe, which is alright. But in Blackball you can play a skill shot here, so he can probably like cut this fine even if he hits that yellow into the corner in. It wouldn't really matter in that respect. But he can also play the long triple going off the cushion, bring it back and then pass the yellow. It just might leave the black safe on the cush.
It's a little bit hard because he can't control the Cubans where the Cubans sit, so that's right, that's correct, that's a good shot.
Yeah, so it's blocked the top and it's left Sithu the only one on the left rail.
With the Cubans on the top rail.
So Sithu is probably just going to flick the yellow off and try and leave the cue ball safe, which I guess is done in a way, but you can always go the long double here, which he'll probably have to go for. I think Mick's certainly shaping up to do that. Oh, that was a good attempt.
At the double shot you mentioned before, long, just a little bit unlucky. Not a huge shot.
Sorry folks, just turn away for a second, just trying to adjudicate, run the comp and commentate, so it can be a bit difficult at times, but that was a very good effort by Mick to basically pot the black off the yellow. It's always dangerous leaving balls hanging about over the corner pocket. I think that's
I think it's a foul.
A foul, so it'll be a free hit, where this is the thing I love about Blackball, Kenny, is on a free hit you just hit the opponent's ball and pot it. Okay, so Blackball is just recently hit Australian shores in 2014, Kenny. It was introduced by a British expat, Mark Cottingham, who used to be from England, came to Australia and pretty much, I guess, loved Blackball, so he brought a whole, I think in the first year, 2014, he took a team over to the World Championships then. Took a couple of teams to the World Championships in 2016, and then this year took about 70 people to Malta for the Nations Cup. So it's something that's definitely growing and on the rise. And even on this particular competition this weekend, a lot of players have, not who normally play 8-ball, started to play Blackball and have really complimented the game on how well the rules are structured. So you can actually, with the first nationals being held at Chalkers in Adelaide in March 2018, the 22nd and 25th, I think there's about 150 players who have signed up to go to Chalkers to play in this event. So with more and more people playing this game, it really has the potential to take off. As most people know, I've bit of an inventor. I've been trying to invent new forms of pool to try and grow the game and I guess make it more easier for the general public to view and play the game. And I think the Blackball is actually on the right track because the set of rules really suit people who don't play pool. They understand the game more because it's closer to the pub form of the game. So Mick on reds needs to put a bit of left on it after he possibly screws it to the right hand rail. I think it's gone just a little bit too far. Although I can't tell if you can cut the red past those two yellows and squeeze it into the top left pocket. It's 5-1. Sorry, Kenny, I'm just going to do some calculations. So current table. Sorry, folks. I'll just take a little time to assess the situation with the ladies right now. Cindy obviously 169.
9-5.
So just bear with me, folks. I'm just trying to calculate exactly what's needed. 6. So I missed that. Did Nick just draw the black dude? Or sorry, folks. I just get the ladies' format sorted, and I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Okay, folks, I'm just going to disappear and let the ladies know. Sorry for the short break there, folks. Just helping the ladies who've completed now their second match. Cindy Blackmore just defeated Ashley Smith 5-1. So now Ashley and Vanessa will play the third match to decide who will get into the final for the ladies event. Yeah, it's a bit hard to try and do everything, which is basically run the tournament, both the opens and the ladies at the same time, and also try and commentate on this particular match. I didn't see what happened, but Nick was leading by some balls, must have missed the shot on black, and has ever since been snookered by Sithu, who's I guess a very good tactician, the way he plays the game. So he was going to find a way to promote his balls, get snookers, and then pretty much go for it at the end. Now the way the ball's configured, I think if Mick had missed that particular shot and given Sithu a free hit, the frame would have been pretty much over. As it is, Mick's got a good result with the white on a cushion. So Sithu will now have to think very cleverly. He might try and I thought he was going to try and run the white behind one of those yellow balls before we get another snooker. But looks like the balls are open enough. He might as well just go for it. Probably go for the yellow on the middle first, middle left. Okay, so it's left Mick a very good chance to double here back into the right-hand middle pocket. Mick's gone for it, just missed it. Yeah, I'd probably take the ball closest to the left-hand rail and then go up the table and then to the top pocket on the right. Okay, once again, so yeah, it's got a very good angle there.
So top left size. Oh, wow.
See, the reason why I don't like going those types of angles where you can just go up, down, table, up, is there's less chance of it going in off. Whereas if you're relying on a lot of spins on these types of cushions, fast table, you can actually get results where it happens. Is you drag the ball into the pocket.
Too new for Mick Norton.
Okay, so Mick's just making sure that we keep the proper scores, which we are doing. Kind of lost my chain of thought earlier about the whole Blackball rise. It's very interesting. I think on social media, a lot of people were, I guess, criticising some of the players who went and represent Australia in Malta. You know, pretty much saying, you know, we didn't have to try out, and you know, so it's not a real representation, or you know, while we're proud to go away and represent the country. But I think that's a little bit of a negative attitude if you think about it, because there's never been any sports that I know of that in your first year, or in your second, or in your third year of growth, any country around the world, everything starts from something. You know, the FIFA World Cup started off as an unofficial tournament where 8 teams were invited by invitation. You know, the teams that went to the first World Cup didn't even try out. It was just like people in a know getting together, and you know, from very little something emerges and happens. So I think a lot of credit needs to be given to the players who actually went to Malta and represent Australia, and played with courage, pride and passion. And the reason why I say that is the call for people to play Blackball, it wasn't a closed invitation. It was something that was posted publicly on the Australian International Federation Incorporated website, saying, hey, we're looking for players to go travel to Malta to play this thing called a Nations Cup, and if you're interested, let us know, kind of thing. So in that kind of situation, the invitation's open to all pool players around Australia, the elites, the non-elites, your social pub players, and then basically from there it's a matter of who's interested and wanting to go and putting their hand up. And obviously the way Blackball is at the moment, it's in its infant stages of development, so few players put up their hand, and there were a number of people who wanted to go and did that. And so there's no like negative aspect to it. It's like, you know, if you see posters put up publicly by the military going, hey, you know, there's a war going on the other side of the world, who wants to go fight for your country? And then of course, you know, people put their hand up and go, you know, yeah, that's something we want to do. And yeah, I don't particularly see any negativity about it. I think there was other people going, you know, how well did the Australian team do at the Nations Cup? Well, we compared hard, and that's the main thing. You know, there's been Australian sporting teams that's gone to World Championships and haven't won anything. You know, soccer for years, we didn't even qualify for the World Cup. Cricket, you know, we had an embarrassing stage where we hardly won anything. But main factor of sports is as long as you compete hard, that's all there is. Okay, so it's back in control of this particular frame again. Sithu probably needs to have to lay on a good snooker to free up that yellow ball on the blocking the corner pocket or red. He might get a result. Almost put it to the middle.
Good snooker.
I think it's a snooker there, Kenny, but I think you can probably get out of it by playing with a bit of a swerve off the rail.
Gonna play soft to the yellow. Yeah.
Nicely played there.
Yeah, that's nice shot.
Although from that angle, I wonder if Sithu can run the red that's on the rail past those two yellows to, I guess, block a pocket. At least buy himself a bit more time.
Huge shot. Oh, lucky. I think it's gonna total snooker.
Yeah, it looks like there's a snooker. So once again, I thought he just played a little bit too attacking there. He could have just blocked the pocket for the time being to buy himself more time, because Mick didn't really have an angle to play another ball to get a skill shot where he pots his ball and pots Sithu's as well over the pocket.
I'm gonna do the message to leave the coupons at the top row as far as he can.
Well, if he doesn't get out of this snooker, he's in a world of pain. Without stating the obvious.
Oh, lucky. I think Mick's gonna do the free shot.
Free hit, mate. Free hit. Free hit. Not free shot, not two shot. Did you say two shot or free shot?
Free shot.
Ah, right.
You don't have two shot.
No, no.
Yeah,
It's a very, very nice, gentle setup there by Mick. So it's something that you do in Blackball. Is like in your first shot, you don't necessarily have to pot a ball. You just have to set the ball up so that in your second visit, where the shot doesn't carry over, you can just manipulate the ball around table to clear out. Nice, easy blacks in the middle.
Hit the bucket. 3-0 for Mick Norton.
Racing away a bit there. Hey, Sid, want to join the commentary or? Oh no, Sid's waved me away. So with Blackball growing in Australia, I hope we do send competitive teams to future world events. Having experienced Malta myself, Australia aren't that far off from doing something if our best players actually go. You know, I played in the seniors, and there were quite a fair few games where we lost 14-11, 13-12, and we just lacked the depth to do something at the world stage. So, you know, it's quite encouraging to see that running the event here this weekend, that so many state quality players from 8-ball have come across to see what this game's all about. So looking here, Sithu's got a fairly easy clean up here, the middle pocket. Probably go top first before the middle, just the way the ball is. Clean up the top end first before you bring the cue ball down the table. Yeah, so pot the ball to the middle, and then the top right hand pocket, and then bottom left, and then you got the black where you pretty much anywhere except one pocket. looks easy at home, folks, but sometimes miscues can happen.
Smash.
Yeah, so just probably take the bottom left now and then go to the middle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just a gentle taps in the middle. Leave the cue ball at center, and you got all the pockets. Don't want to get.
Long, do you see C2 wearing the patch for the final match? Congratulations to just joined the Omen team. The Omen Q, sorry.
Yeah, nice. So bottom left. That was a nice
shot. C2.
master shot, I thought it was.
No, she still had a slow start on quarterfinal against Jason Tanaskovic, and in the semi-final against Mongrel as well. So, but he had a really good comeback.
Yeah, so Sithu was down. I think it was 5-2 against Tanaskovic and got up to beat him.
4-1. Yeah,
4-1 and got.
4-1, yeah, and then 5-2. It was a really good comeback.
And then he was
4-2.
4-2 down against
4-2 against
Mongrel.
Mongrel,
Got up.
Yeah.
8
Really
5.
strong
So
brand.
so-
Strong man.
So he's done well to come back in 2 matches so far. So drive break here. If I was Big Norm, I think the reds are looking pretty good. You can pot this one here with a bit of left and break the other.
My parents watching the
Okay.
final as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Just say hi to mom, dad from Vietnam. Hello.
Yeah, so this is Kenny Hune on commentary with me. Long Dang. I'm also of Vietnamese heritage, half Chinese, half Vietnamese.
Yeah, my parents, my brothers watching now.
So, see, in 8 ball, that's still the mentality. You cover pockets, but at Nations Cup, if you got a couple balls near the middle pocket, you can actually play a skill shot with the right cue ball angle to then pot the one in the middle and then run the white down towards the long pockets. I think Sithu is trying to bump it closer. Oh yeah. So very quickly, both players are realising this corner pocket's going to be an important aspect of the game. They're still playing the match a little bit like 8 ball tactically, so it will take a while for, I guess, the maturity of the play to play the Blackball style game. I think I was talking to some of the Irish and Welsh guys one night after competition at Nations Cup, and they said it's really strange watching us Aussies on the table because the way we play shocked them, because we do things that they normally don't think is the right shot to play and do, but then we get the results. I said, well, because most of the players who come over actually are from an 8 ball background, so it'll take a while for us to adjust to the tactic and style of this particular game, because it's only been, like I keep saying, in Australia for just 3 years.
It's a good
Nice
question
shot.
from my mom. Long. My mom says black ball ball, but she asking the black ball is not black, it's black and white. It's funny. Sorry.
No, it's just the new set of balls that Aramith has made. So it's called Pro Cup balls. But I think the striped black ball actually works well. For some players it doesn't, but for a player like me, there's a lot more points of reference on the stripes. It's easier to
Fair enough.
to pick where you want to hit to cut into the pocket. So it's just for I guess, visual aspects also. It's kind of left the cue ball safe. Mick has to shoot up the table, but he's left the one closest to the middle pocket out. If he can do with a bit of a top, he'll get through for his other two. Yeah. Oh, he's trying to hit off the yellow. So it slipped into that pocket. So Mick's actually got a good table control here. Sithu's got a lot of work to do to get back in the frame. That result did not work for Sithu. Now the table's pretty much there for Mick's taking. You just have to... I don't think he can get past the red closest to the left rail, past the two that stuck together. So I probably have to bottom, and I'm probably side it. Yeah. So if it gets this ball that's out to the bottom left,
to the bottom
the cue ball should come back for a natural angle for a shot at the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Beautiful. I'd probably tuck the one closest to us, to the middle. The one closest to us first.
Yeah, to the motor pocket. You know the play. Yeah, it's correct. It's not a good angle, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
play the rest up from behind. Yeah,
Yeah, it's taking the further one. That's actually the right shot because it was very hard to hold a cue ball otherwise.
Middle pocket, left mid pocket. And
Middle,
leave the wires from behind.
yeah, nice shot.
Another nice shot.
I think that passes through the
don't
bottom
think
left.
it's on. Is it on? Yeah, it's on.
Oh,
that's
just snicked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He tried to pass the cue balls for the bottom rails to
Sith,
the black ball from the middle pocket.
if Sithu's
Get
if Sithu's attacking, he can get this in one shot, or he can just play defensive and lay on one snooker hoping to get a free hit. But I'll probably just like go for it. Oh, I tried to promote that yellow on the rails, played a bit too hard. He's not left himself not in a bad position. From here, he can actually softly tap the yellow, get the cue ball down closer towards the left rail, and block Mick's angle to pot the black. But still, Mick should be able to get out.
They have a gap between 3 yellows close to the black.
Yeah.
So
Yep, so gently play it. I think he's left.
no, it should be alright. Should be just.
You could swerve around it, can't you?
That was very risky. Yeah, just play the right cushion and to sit the white ones behind the black. So
Yeah. So it's just
yeah.
the goal here is just
Yeah,
a soft
to keep
tap
the
the
blacks
black.
in front of the pocket.
Oh,
No, he missed that.
he's missed it.
Too much spin. You got a put in hand,
He can play it from where it is.
but I think you're gonna take the ball.
I'd probably take the ball in hand, simply because there's more options for you. You take ball in hand, you can play the one that's off the cushion, promote it out, and then one shot, you've got the ability to run out from that angle. No, it's playing from where it is. Okay. Interesting shot. Because now
Gonna play the
because now the 2 yellows is that's another
Cover the
problem
black, yeah.
that's has to be dealt with at some stage.
to hit the yellow to the top left pocket, and the white ball is behind the
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he'll
on the right.
gently play the one towards. Oh yeah.
No, I think it's on.
Uh,
Got a miscue, so 2 straight. Yeah, 4-1 for McNaughton. Yep.
Grab me a beer or something like that. 2 bourbon cokes. Yeah.
Why still? You take 2 every time?
Yeah, 2 bourbon cokes, mate. There you go. Yeah, so Kenny's just gone to the bar, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to get myself a beverage. Kenny's a bit of a rarity in the ACT because he's actually an exponent of 3-cushion billiards. Very, very good player. Probably a player of the calibre that can actually compete for Australia in 3-cushion billiards. But the one problem, of course, being Australia is there is no 3-cushion billiards league this year. So it's another thing people requested that potentially I get started is some kind of 3-cushion billiards comp in the ACT. I would have probably accepted that challenge, except now the Kobe was closing, so probably won't get a venue to play that form of the game. So yeah, one of the things for 2018 would be focusing on growing and developing the game of Blackball here in the ACT, and probably step up and assist at the national level as well to see where we can take this game. Like I said throughout the broadcast earlier, I really love these rules. It's a faster, it's a cleaner version of the game. I've shown it to a few people that I know, and asked, and these are non-pool players, what they thought about the game. I said, oh yeah, it makes sense. We play this at the pub, except for a few rule differences, and so that's why I think this game would be more widely accepted by the general public, and it can go somewhere. Last year, I did try and promote 8-ball, and I took the final of the 2016 Men's World Championship win to a few people that I knew in television. They worked in Foxtel and Win and the ABC, and just basically said, look, here's the Australian team winning the World Championship, and just watch it. Give me feedback. What do you think of the game? And one of the first things that came back from this group of people, and Mick's on a real good out here, but one of the feedback that I got from most of the people is that they felt it was a dirty game, and you can get upset about it. You can be really emotional and go, oh, Long's just a crazy guy on a microphone calling 8-ball a dirty game. But that's the feedback I got when I showed people the footage of or the match where Australia won a world championship. So you have to sit up and go, well, if people who don't watch the game normally are saying that, then technically there is something wrong about the game. So it's something that needs to be addressed. It's like soccer. A while back, a lot of people go, geez, the back pass to the goalkeeper, what's that? That's negative, that's boring, let's change it. And so now in a game of soccer, you can't kick the ball back to the goalkeeper and have the goalkeeper pick it up with their hands, so the goalkeeper now has to play with their feet. In AFL, and there's been a whole range of rule changes over the years. Cricket, there's been a whole range of rule changes over the years. Basketball, there's been a whole range of rule changes over the years. So something I can't fathom with pool is a lot of the problems that we face aren't new. It's already there, out there in the sports world and sports community. It's just for people who run and administer the game just to take a step back and go, okay, if that's the feedback you're getting, then obviously something needs to be done about it. It's not this whole traditional, we've done things for 100 years and we're not going to change it. Well, in the last 100 years, if it's got no interest, then why would you still be doing it for the next 100 years? That's the question I'm asking, basically. Mick's flying at the moment, Kenny. I said Mick's flying at the moment, mate. Sorry, Kenny's a little bit more quieter than myself, as you can probably tell. Yeah, so a lot of work to do for both players. After Sithu pots this red to the middle, I was trying to pot it and promote, which is, I guess, the right tactics to play. Even Mick's got a bit of work to do to get this frame, because it's really hard to control where the balls would go in a pack. I'll probably just lay this yellow close to the corner. One thing I should mention is George Nitzis is out there timing. We're actually activating the timing rule just to make it, I guess, a little bit more speedier to watch for the audience at home to watch. So in Blackball, the rules say it's a 30-second, you get a warning. 60 seconds of time foul, pretty much like 8-ball, except now they've switched to 20-40. I think 60 seconds is the right amount of time for a shot in pool. Never really noticed it until you go to a event like Nations Cup and things like that, and you get put into a very difficult position, and you need to take time to assess your shot, the position of the balls on the table, and so forth. And I think 40 seconds was implemented by 8-ball as a way to speed up the game. It had the right intentions, but I guess one of the things that they forgot about is pool is a thinking and a tactical game as well. So by speeding up the game in that respect, you also lose the technical proficiency or the ability for a player to demonstrate their technical proficiency and understanding of the game in that respect. It's kind of like makes for a bit of an ugly pool when you play it at speed and you see people during shots they normally don't because they're rushing due to the time pressure. So I guess that's my take on it. Nick just pots this to the top right. Probably break up this pack of yellows here, do a cannon for the bottom left. Nick's on yellows, mate. Oh yeah, nice. All lay on the snooker, so I didn't see the snooker. I'm always playing attacking this game, as Paul told me. Not much defense. It's funny, Kenny, I ran this tournament last year and I made the quarterfinals, and I think Mungal beat me. I think it was 5-3 or something like that in the quarters last year, and this year I didn't even get out of my group because everyone was gunning for me. I copped everyone's best game yesterday. I had, what was it? I played 24 frames. I had 6 master breaks logged against me, and I had 4 dry breaks which my opponent ran out of me. So of the 24 frames I played, 10 frames I didn't even get a shot.
Wow.
So all you guys were definitely gunning for me yesterday, even though you guys don't say it openly.
Yesterday I played 27 frames, so I gave up. Just after the first round, I just gave up, and so I put a point. So after 2 years, I didn't play at all. But yeah, I got a feeling, and I came back. Got a 7 win straight, so it's good. And got a playoff to win Tolly. I played well today. I'm happy with myself, but I did more time on the table for the next season.
Now, I was telling the audience earlier, Kenny, that you're more proficient at free billiard cushion. Oh, is it free billiards cushion?
Free cushion billiard.
Free cushion billiards.
They call it carom, so free cushion carom.
Free cushion carom.
So yeah, it's all about the cue sport, but a different technique, different skill. So
how do you find Blackball?
Yeah, it's fun. You know, like I love key sports. So, like yesterday is the first time I played blackball, but it, it's not a big problem for me. So,
Nick's slightly overhit it. I don't think he can fine cut this in.
I didn't have any problem with the blackball rules last night. Yeah, so.
But don't you agree with me? This version of the game is more similar to pub pool, so you pick it up a lot more easier.
Yeah, it's similar. You know, I don't see much difference between blackball rules.
I think in total there's something like only 8 or 10 rule differences between the two games.
Yeah. I just wondering about, you know, that when you got a foul, it's not a true shot, it's a free shot. So I make a mistake yesterday. Like I have a free shot. I used to use the first shot, the free shot, to put a ball instead of to cue the opponent ball. Because anyway, I have a free shot anyway. So that's what I had to learn about the technique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So,
Slightly a different way of thinking.
oh,
Wow, it's unlucky when you're not.
So I prefer if I get a free shot, so I'm gonna have a shot to cue the opponent ball, and then have a good position for the white ball, so for the next shot.
So I think the way Sithu's going is probably the way I'd go as well. Gentle pot, leave it over the pocket, and then you got he's potted both of them.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to leave one of those over the pocket, easier to transition back to the black, but anyway, now he's got to work it around.
It's too much.
That's actually a very good shot.
To have a good cut to see the wires,
Yep. So just run the cue ball through.
or maybe it's up here. Yep. Oh, it's not bad.
He's gone the opposite way. I would have played the middle on the other side to run it up, but I noticed Sithu loves his backspin.
I tell you, he's still gonna come back. What is to see him? He will come back. 5 back to McNaughton's 5-2.
So while the ball's being racked up, and I don't know if you're aware, but there's a guy from Victoria who's a Pommy, Timogen Dixon, who I think was one of the players of the Carnival 4 8-ball nationals from what I saw, but then didn't get selected on the Australian team. I must admit, prior to going over to Malta, I actually sent Rio the World 8-ball Federation bylaws, which said Timogen wasn't able to play for Australia at the Worlds, so he didn't get his citizenship. But at the time, I don't think there was any rules in the Australian Association that prevent him from being actually selected on the Australian team. And this is one of the things I say. The problems we face in pool isn't rocket science. Other sports have done it before. So you go to a situation about Kevin Lish, and I know of this because Kevin's actually on my Facebook, and he got selected to the Australian basketball team to go away to the World Championship, and at the time he wasn't an Australian citizen. So what Basketball Australia did was give Kevin a time frame to get his citizenship, so his actual playing at the World Championship that depended upon him becoming an Australian citizen. So, you know, similar thing could have been applied to Timogen to allow him to, one, get a medal for an outstanding nationals tournament, and, you know, give him a bit of a buffer to then apply for citizenship and see if he gets it in time to travel away to the world. So, you know, there's a lot of controversy about that, but once again, you know, Kenny, problems we face in pool cue sports isn't anything new. We just need to follow the lead of other sports that have been around a lot longer than us, or if not a lot longer, a bit more popular and more widely respected. He's tried to promote that blackout, but I think the yellow is just blocking the pocket. They can chip it off the cushion and bump the yellow, will go. Yeah. Oh, he's tried exactly that. Just Jordan.
I think he just missed the yellow.
He's smiling. He's smiling. Sithu's one good snooker away from winning the frame. It's a risky out if he goes for it. I'd lay on one good snooker to take control.
Raise snooker from there and get another free shot.
Because if he attempts the out, those two balls are too risky for me.
Yep.
But he's got more ability than myself, so you know he might come up with something that we don't see. I see what he's going to do. He'll pot this to the top hat pocket, and then he'll gently run this to rail, and then put the white where the yellow is.
He can do after the shot. Yep, that's a good angle. I think he's gonna have a go. Yes. Right bottom spin. Yep.
Just rattled in. That's actually good now.
It's coming back.
It's more further out off the rail than I
3-5.
expected. Well, that's actually very well played, I have to admit. I think the yellow was a little bit further out than what I thought here, looking at that monitor.
Cheers for the black ball.
Cheers, mate. So just like that, Sithu's come back to 5-3. He's definitely been a fighter all day, coming from behind to beat Jason Tanaskovic and coming from behind to beat Mungu as well. So So in Blackball, the table's still open after the break. It's the first ball that you pot from it that you then either stay on or don't stay on. So Sithu's got yellows fairly easily, I'd say. Probably go to the top end first. Now I think he's looking at a plant, a gentle plant. You don't want to play these too hard because they can the balls can spring anywhere. So you need to play plant. It's like kind of like a very soft, gentle. Ah, you could actually see that outright. See what was I thinking? Can that yellow go?
Yeah, I think yellow's on, but it's not good angle for the last seconds. light yellow.
It's touch and go. No, it's gone for it. Yeah. I think Mikia goes middle first shot. They'll probably go middle first and then play the red behind the two yellows right away. Alright, go the top then. Oh no, he's coming back for that side. Yeah, great shot.
Nice shot. Oh, it's running too far.
I don't think he wanted to run that close to that red, but he's still okay because he can cut the red that's furthest out. Ooh. I think he's covered the bottom on left. Probably play this one on the closest to the black and cut it down over the pocket. I think that's the shot to go for. So you cut the yellow that's closest to the black down to the other pocket for a gentle plant. Yeah, and it's got out enough, so it just depends on where you feel comfortable potting the black, how hard, soft you play, whether you play with back or side.
You're going to play the black for the right middle pocket. Yep.
I would see on those shots, I'd normally play into the middle, but you guys love these long pocket shots. I love the middles.
Yeah, for the narrow tables, it's really hard to get a middle pocket. I think go for the right top pocket.
Oh, it's gone back spin.
Ah,
Wow.
no
I
pressure.
didn't see that one coming. It's close to Christmas, so Sithu's just given Mick a little Christmas gift. Yeah, so the guy's having a break, bit of a smoky, that's fine. I'll yabber on while the players go off and are smoking. If you do want to leave commentary, I am on the Facebook, so yeah, just leave comments and let me know if I'm talking rubbish or you don't like my calling of the game or whatever the case may be. Say hello if you went to the Nations Cup and want to give a shout out to any of us. The only player missing from the 4 players that went to Nations Cup from this region here is Murph. He unfortunately had other commitments. I'm just going to quickly duck and check on the results on the ladies while the boys are out having a break. So even 2 frames between the 2 ladies. So back to the 2 logos down there. I don't know many people realise we've only been around. Well, ACT Blackball pool's only been around since I came back from Nations Cup in Malta and decided that why not do something to actively promote blackball here in the ACT? So, in the process of drafting up the constitution and setting up that as an association, which we then recognise as the state body for blackball pool, and then we'll obviously have a proper committee, president, vice president, treasurer, tournament director, secretary. But it's probably going to be a bit more laid back than the 8-ball setup. And part of the reason why we need to be an association and a not-for-profit association is very difficult to obtain sponsorship these days, unless you have things like an ABN, you're formally recognised, and those kinds of things. I think 10 years ago, you could get sponsorship quite easily from clubs and pubs and other organisations without that. But it's just, the way the government's made it to be able to claim taxes and those kinds of things. So there's no avoiding it. If I could, I'd probably do it under some kind of different framework and so forth. And I think once it gets established, a lot of people will be surprised, but I'm not actually going to run for presidency of AC Blackball Pool. I'll probably steer the association for the first 6 to 8 months, and then probably going to hand over the reins to a more passionate and less controversial person than myself to do it. But someone has to start the legwork to get things in train, and so that person's me. Start it up, and then hopefully someone will take it over and grow it to new heights. Also, after the men's final, do stay with us. Our intention will be to put the ladies on stream as well, so it'll be a historic moment, because I think it will be the first state title, I guess, in any state, for Blackball Pool actually being put onto live stream. While we're here, may as well do it. So yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying the coverage. I'm just going to get on social media, do a few things. So I just want to give a shout out to, like I said, Mark Coddington, who's I guess the president of Australian International Federation Incorporated for Blackball, for bringing this game to Australian shores. Giving us Q Sports players another opportunity or option to play competitive pool, representative pool. The other thing I like about the Blackball setup is one of the things I noticed about 8-ball when I first came in is it had what I call a very elitist mentality. So basically, if you're very good at the game and you play, represent, your country or your state and territory, you don't, players came across as not really welcoming, apart from a few others, but don't really come across as sharing the game to more social and new players and so forth. So that's the attitude I got when I first joined. You turned me off?
No, that's all
Huh?
right. I thought it was off for some reason.
Sorry, George just came and played with the mic, so good job refereeing there, mate. So yes, and why I enjoy Blackball more is it gives a range of people the ability to play representative pool. So you got A, which is for elite players to play in the World Championships, and then you got tournaments like Nations Cup where you do have an A team and then you have a B team. So even if you're not an elite player, but you still aspire to play representative pool, you got that option because Blackball pool has A classification and B classification, and you can do that. It's actually a great thing to have to encourage, I guess, more players to play the game. So mix back breaking. So he's potted white on a break, and the difference with 8-ball and blackball is that now Sithu gets a free hit, but colours can't be decided on a free hit. So if you pot, say, yellow or red, you aren't on yellow and reds until your next shot. So you're better off just playing for position in most of these circumstances, or breaking open any problematic balls and then potting a ball in your second shot, which is then you're on. So Sithu's potted red, but he's not actually on reds. So now is the shot where you play and you're actually on a ball. Suddenly it became deathly quiet, so I might have to tone my voice down so as not to give players any unfair advantage. So if you play it with a bit of left, you should be able to pot and break the ball up. Okay, so not to do that, I'm just going to go back for a shot to the middle. Yeah, so mix on yellow. So I think the saving grace with that one is I think he's covered that yellow and can't find cut past that red from where I'm seeing. I could be wrong. Yeah, so basically gets this off the rail, covers the pocket, yeah, safe shot. There's no real balls I can see Sithu being able to pot that yellow over the pocket with a skill shot, so I might have to lay on a very tight sneaker to try and get a free hit to clear that pocket. That's not the result he wanted, I don't think. I guess he could gently run the red to cover that pocket. It's the other option, yes. Don't think it's done what he's wanted, so Mick can just go take this ball here to the left hand rail, then go top. Oh. At least it's left the cue ball safe. think that was a bit of miscue there from Sithu, but he's covered the yellow plant onto the ball. So Mick's thinking hard. Yes, Fred's going to double it back over the other pocket. Yep. Yes, gently leave the cue ball on the rail, yeah. Might have shown a little bit too much of that ball for Mick. Mick should be able to just pot it and screw back. Yeah, it's got an out, so you can get the balls in the middle. Whoa, that almost went in off. Squeezed into the jaw. Definitely has to cut it, fine cut to the other middle, hold the ball on the cush. Oh. Both players are missing their middle shots at the moment. Yeah, great shot, Mick. Just rolled it back. And if people are wondering why I'm on the commentary, so I was going to get a few of the top players to hang around and commentate with me, because they're probably better at analysing the technical aspects of the game than myself. Although I have been putting in some practice time on the table, pretty much breaking and trying to pot out and working on backspin, side spin, where all the angles are. So I'm getting better at understanding the technicalities of the game better than I was a year ago, I guess.
Oh,
unlucky. So Mick has a free hit. Mick's a very smart player, so he'll do something very useful with his first free hit to promote a ball, kill one of theirs, and then set up for his second shot. He only pots this ball if he feels very confident he'll get the out. And I think he does think that. Takes this one to the top right, and then he's home. Might have gone a little bit further than he wanted to, but he's still okay. Very well done. Nice done. Mick's 2 frames away. So back to the other issue that I got a lot of grief from people when I changed my profile picture to myself wearing the Australian jersey, which I wore for Malta. A lot of people wrote to me, private message, and even some on the 8-Ball Players Association website going, do I hang myself out as an Australian representative, do I? Because there was no trials or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, I still feel proud. I put up my hand to represent my country. Like I said earlier in the call, it wasn't a closed invitation; it was a public invitation that was posted on the Facebook group. And, you know, people want to sit at home and go, I'm not good enough to represent the country and what I'm doing there. Then the solution is simple. Go up, put your hand up, play and represent your country. It's as simple as that. If you don't think I should be there, put your goddamn hand up and play for your country. Because at the end of the day, Australian sports body put up a public call for players to represent their country. You can either take up the call or you can turn your back on your country. That's the way I look at it. I put my hand up, I went, and I competed with pride and passion, took a few scalps along the way. But the main thing is, you know, Jim Cersei, who I respect with a great, you know, he's someone I consider a friend. When I was in Darwin, you know, he drove me around, you know, those kinds of things. And, you know, the whole comment about, you know, you can buy yourself a baggy green and call yourself an Australian cricketer. No, that's not the case, because basically we put our hands up, we went over. You know, someone like Vanessa was playing against Emma Cunningham, a 3 times world champion, and actually beat her in the frame. So we actually went over and did something, competed on the arena and came back. We didn't just buy a jersey or whatever. We could have gone over, got slaughtered, and then go, oh, what the hell were we doing at such a world event? But the fact that we went, competed hard, and got results means, yes, I do come back and I do wear the jersey with pride, and I do speak about my experience with pride, because 1, we volunteered to go and we played with passion. 2, it was a public call for every single person in the country who held a queue to put their hand up. And like I said, you guys can sit back at home and go, I don't want to represent my country, I'm not good enough, or whatever the case may be. Well, next year, put your hand up and go. Simple as that. Well, Kenny, you've been very quiet throughout the call. Bit tired. Okay. I think Sithu's not playing within himself today. What? I don't think Sithu's been playing within himself today. What do you think?
Yeah, he's playing under pressure. It's not a good cue. He didn't play his best so far, but can't say yet. It's my comeback. He always play better after the second half.
So he's looking around here. I think the best bet's to actually cut the red ball past. You don't necessarily need to pot it on this occasion, because Mick's got no balls we can use as a skill shot. So even though you think of Blackball as an attacking game, there's still a lot of strategy that goes in it, where if you can buy yourself a shot, you should buy yourself a shot.
Everyone had just different views on the table. You remember when we had a break? Do you remember he got a free shot and he didn't take the ball in hand before we mentioned?
Yep.
On the break, yeah, he told me he forget about the ball in hand, so he should take the ball in hand for the shot. You remember last shot? Yeah. So yeah, he's still learning the rules. So he's good cue about. So it's different rule, different tactic.
So we just had a comment a while back that I just picked up from Richard Johan saying we're doing a great job. So thank you, Richard. Richard's one of the top snooker players that play 8-ball in Canberra, I'd say. And that's a very, very lucky result there from Mick, and also from Jason Tanaskovic saying he enjoyed Blackball and he looks forward to Adelaide. Well, we enjoy having you on board in this whole Blackball adventure, Jason. Very excited to see what you can do at the national level.
It's 8-3 for Mick Norton.
So Mick's on the hill.
1 frame to go to be champion.
Mick on the hill, Mick Hill. Sorry, bad joke, I know. Well, Jason's probably got the ability to call himself the greatest of all time in
Jason Tanaskovic is good
in ACT.
World champion.
Yeah. But Jason's got a lot of potential in Blackball, I'd say, if he takes his rules seriously.
I reckon he lost himself this morning. Make too many mistakes. And unlucky.
Well, I definitely thought Jason was going to win this tournament quietly. Yeah, quietly speaking, I actually thought Jason was going to win this tournament. If I had my money on anyone, it would have been him because he's in great form of late.
Yeah.
But Sithu did well to get up on that particular quarterfinal matchup. So Sithu's on yellow. He's looking hard at going out again. So he's pushed too hard. So sometimes you just need to cover a pocket, take control. Like Blackball's attacking game, but there's still strategy involved, you know. And I think Sithu in this particular match has pushed too hard at times where he should be thinking more about what's the outcome he wants. We'll probably rewatch this at home later on and kick himself some of the stuff that he did. See, because he's lost ball position again, so like there's no advantage in playing that last shot.
He plays under pressure, so I didn't see him play before.
Now the best opportunity.
Blackball played well, but I think Mick Norton played more consistent.
Yes, true. Now the only way you can probably turn this around is just a soft snip. Oh no, he's not. Won't go for that. When Mick's on a fly like this, it's going to be very hard to rule him back.
Play very safety and consistency.
Well, isn't Mick your captain next year for 8 ball?
Huh?
Isn't Mick your captain next year for 8 ball?
Yeah. He's the one to wrap me to the team when I was in Vietnam. If I played for TVA, but I didn't think I can wrap a team in Div 1, but yeah, make a technique, making C to try to wrap into the team. So this is going to be interesting. We have strong players. Josh Nissis, the Sherwood Blackball representative. Brandon Smith, Mick Nortons, and T2 on way in top ACT.
So Sithu's just overran it a little bit. I thought he was actually going to pot it to the middle of hold positions and come back up, but he's now run past and it's gone through. I mean, Mick's still got a bit of work to get this frame, but it's a lot of work here for Sithu.
I think he's relaxing and wait for his chance to finish the game. Oh, it's not red.
Well, I think Mick's
Mick's
probably going to go for it, especially that he's got a 5-frame buffer.
for a combo.
He might take the plant right away. It'd be outrageous, but he's probably going to go for it.
The cannon now.
Yeah. Because he sees it. He sees it. If he gets it, he's out. Basically.
If he cannons the red,
No, he might come back
make
for it at a later stage.
Snooker himself, so yeah.
It's gone for a snooker. No. He has
Great
to.
shot.
He's played it safe. That's actually a great shot because if Sithu moves that yellow ball, well, it depends on what Sithu does here next, I guess.
I think he's safe for the red bones in the right middle pocket to get the red close to the yellows out for the next shot. Still gonna play shot around.
It's open the table. I don't see a problem here for Mick other than a skill error. It's a pot out because it's yep, the far middle first. Then gently up top right.
Yep.
Top right first. So bit risky playing that plant one.
Yep.
I'd probably just take one of the balls over the pocket first. Because the one away from the bunch is the one you'd use for position to get back to that far middle of. I could be wrong. I probably am.
I think I play safety.
That's probably why. I know Mick's a hell of a better player than me, but that's why I'd probably go for the one of the ones over the pocket first to come back to the middle to run the cue ball down to get up on that angle. Sithu's now not taking his time to angle. Mick's again looking at that plant, but no, he's not going to go for it. Surely not. No, let's run the keyboard too far. Oh no,
it's alright.
That's alright.
Just a bit lucky.
Didn't think it had enough pace to get past the yellow, that's all. And then it got
play,
there.
The rest in the right middle pocket. Soft and form.
Yep.
Yep. Yes.
Now you
The
go
rest for
far
the
right away.
left
Yep.
bottom pocket.
So you clear that traffic and you'd use the one at the bottom of the table to get position on the black. Because going the other way, you got a small margin for error going the other way. I would say small, big margin for error.
Bottom left spin.
Yeah, great shot.
How much for the right?
270.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look
It's
at
gone
that.
in off.
Look at that.
Wow. Opportunity for Sithu to get back and get some momentum.
Is that the end of the world? System.
See, on a free hit here, if you're not sure about the positioning, I'd probably like run the black closer to the pocket. It's no benefit of potting it.
I reckon just leave the blacks in the middle of the table so you have 6 pocket, you know. Wrong.
See, once again, it's over.
If you have
You can
a shot the black to the left bottom pocket, so you have 2 pocket to go. But if you leave in the middle table, so you have 6 pocket around the table.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have more opportunity.
Yeah. Probably go fine cut to the middle.
Yep. Oh, he goes for the long shot. Oh, 5 cut.
Yeah, okay.
Right middle pocket.
Because at least that still leaves the white to go. Oh, it's going for that one to me.
Free shot, he couldn't pot a ball. So
I thought he was going to go long pockets the way he was queuing. Once again, a bit deceiving.
they have problem with C2s in the final match. He couldn't board the. Oh, well done.
There you go. We have the 2017 ACT Blackball champion, Mick Norton. Mick, have a few words over there. Unlucky Sithu. So Mick, you've just become the 2017 ACT State Blackball champion. You did it with a bit of ease against Sithu, which was, I wouldn't say surprising, but I thought it would be a closer contest. So how were you feeling after the match and during it?
I was feeling pretty confident during the match. My last two matches I was playing quite well, so I knew my form was there, and I missed a fair few shots in this game, let him come back a bit, but I wasn't taking too much time on my shots because I'm feeling pretty in the zone at the moment. So yeah, I had a good feeling. Like I said at the start, good luck C2. Sorry, C2.
The other thing that I noticed about your game is you seem to adjust a little bit better with the strategy of Blackball than, like, no disrespect to Sithu in this particular match, but there were a couple of occasions where me and Kenny thought, well, with that 3 hit wasn't worthwhile potting a ball, whereas you always did something useful with your first shot. So how did you adjust to the rules?
I read them up before yesterday. And yeah, I'm pretty confident with most of the things in the rules, and I'm adjusting quite well, and my thinking is quite good in the Blackball rules. Knowing that I'm going away in March, I better make sure I start performing on this table. So
on that too, there is probably going to be a Blackball league set up sometime around about January or February. Probably played here as well. Are you looking forward to, or are you going to, like, be interested in playing that Blackball comp?
You've put me on a spot here, Long. Yeah, I'd be interested. Depends what night it is, but yeah, it'd be good to have a little bit of practice more before I go. But I feel like I've got the strategy down pat. It's just the execution. So pretty much.
All right, congratulations, Mick. Thank you. It was worthwhile running the comp and having top caliber players like yourself participate in this tournament. So all bad for me, because with all you top players playing, I finally got squeezed out of the quarterfinals this year. All right, thanks, mate. Do some promo.